Good afternoon, world. Duke McStuffin's here.
And I'm Cookie Curry. And welcome to 11 Sunset News.
Tonight we bring you a special edition of Health News Now.
With school starting, parents are bombarded with the added expense of clothing and school supplies. Parents are also having to deal with getting their kids' yearly vaccinations up to date.
Oh, and Cookie, you know those vaccines do hurt. However, a local Amish community is following in its tradition, dating back to the 18th century, where they're not getting them kids vaccinated. This practice has people in those surrounding communities fearful of their kids' health along with their own.
Correct. And even though they are among one of the healthiest communities in the country, people are wondering why they choose not to vaccinate.
I don't know. Now we cut to Candy Bar, who is out in Holmes County, to report on that Amish community.
Hi Duke. Hi Cookie. I'm reporting from Holmes County, outside of the Amish community that experienced the giant measles outbreak just this last June. A lot of people in the community are wondering, why didn't the Amish visit our local hospitals and clinics to get a simple MMR vaccination? The answer, most Amish are deterred from visiting hospitals and clinics because of their lack of means of transportation. Inside the Amish community, many use horse and buggy to transport themselves, but outside of the community, they are not allowed to hold driver's licenses. So many Amish must rely on an outsider to transport them to the hospitals or clinics, or they have to rely on public transportation such as city buses. And now, a special interview for all you viewers at home. I'm interviewing Lord Biscuit Tyrone Bartholomew, a real-life Amish horse. Now tell me, Bartholomew, what is it like living in the Amish community? Are you affiliated at all with the Amish Mafia? Fascinating. Back to you.
Thank you for that special report, Candy Bar.
That Lord Biscuit did make some very valid points. Plus, he had such beautiful eyes.
Yes, he did.
We now take you to Christine, who is interviewing a local nurse on the Amish community.
Okay. Thank you, Duke McStuffins and Cookie Curry. I am Christine, and I will be doing a special interview on the measles outbreak. Here we have guest nurse Jessica, who will be reporting with us. So Jessica, there's been a recent outbreak on the Amish community. Why do you think this happened, and how do you deal with it as a nurse?
Well, actually, they don't believe in vaccinating their children, and they have large families, so the diseases can spread very quickly.
What kind of medical care do most of your patients come in for?
Well, they use at-home remedies for basic illnesses. When they have more serious illnesses, they usually come into the hospital. However, if they're facing terminal illness, they rarely use life-saving interventions. They believe it's God's will at that point.
Very interesting, Jessica. So what have you found the most challenging as a nurse dealing with the Amish community?
When it comes to caring for the Amish patients, the hardest part is that their families and communities are all involved in their medical care decisions. And when it comes to life-saving medical procedures, like I said, they usually refuse treatment. As a nurse, it is so hard to accept that this is their belief and respect their decision.
Interesting, Jessica. So is there anything that the Amish community is lacking in medical resources that we could help provide?
Well, they don't have trained physicians in their community or hospitals, and they lack the education needed to know when there is something wrong. So a lot of the time, the patients think that their illness is minor and they don't seek care. Also, due to lack of access to a medical facility and the rising medical costs. However, prolonging the illness without proper treatment causes a large increase in the medical costs in the end and puts the patient at high risk.
So how has the Amish perception of American healthcare changed in the last decade?
Well, over the last decade, we've seen more and more Amish patients seeking medical care and coming into the hospital, especially with the measles outbreak. This is definitely causing more of an increase. So we're hoping in the future they continue to seek medical care instead of waiting.
Thank you, Jessica, for your time for this interview. And here we are back with Duke and Cookie.
Very interesting points, Christine. Thank you for the interview.
I tell you, I sure wouldn't mind having her take my blood pressure.
Only if you swing that way, Duke. We're fixing to go over to Sugar, who's interviewing some local patrons of our Holmes County Amish community.
Thank you, Duke. Thank you, Cookie. The Amish community has a shocking cancer rate that is 72% lower than the national norm. We're here live in Holmes County, Ohio, with Amish church leader Isaac Billy Bob Miller and his wife to discover the healthy lifestyles of the Amish community. Can you talk about the Amish tradition and how it affects health factors?
We grow our own food in our farms. We have our own dairy that we make cookies from. We don't drink no alcohol or junk food. Our chicken makes eggs, which is pretty good, with bacon, pigs.
I thought I was interviewing your cousin as well. Where is she?
This is my cousin and my sister. I love her.
Your community has reported to have fewer cases of heart problems and diabetes. Why is that?
Our community is very active, you see. We don't believe in automobiles. We walk a lot, and we, including the kids, we enjoy and we engage in a lot of physical labor.
When needed, our community helps each other out to make bonds in our farm. Sometimes kids run around with their sticks and help.
The community is very stress-free, we're very active, and very simple. That's what makes us healthy.
Okay. I'm intrigued. She's your cousin and your wife?
Yeah, my cousin, my wife, and my sister.
Oh my, how do you feel about intermarriage?
Well, our community is a close-knit community with a strong commitment to the church. Intermarriage is pretty common in our parts. It's been going on for generations.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but my cousin's starting to look pretty cute to me. Sorry, Auntie. The fact that most recreational activities are so closely tied to the home causes most teenagers to rebel before they get into the church. They rebel by going out to the movies, attending parties with alcohol, buying a car, trading their Amish clothing for modern day clothing, and going out to groom their hair and cut it in order to blend in to the public crowd. This is called sowing wild oats or Rumspringa.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
And back to you, Booty Cookie.
Go.
Stop! What was that? Thank you for tuning in to tonight's special edition of Health News Now.
We hope our broadcast has informed you of our local Amish communities and their long-valued traditions and beliefs.
I'm Cookie Curry.
And I'm Duke McStuffins.
Until next time.
Good night.